Welcome to Mug to Mug with Erin. I'm Erin. This is my mug. This is my other mug, and I'm glad your mug is here too. The mug of the week is my daughter's cat mug because we have cats and they brought a critter in this morning through the cat door, so they're kind of fresh on my mind. We are celebrating Christmas in July around here to celebrate the launch of my book, In Unexpected Ways, Christmas in Everyday Life. So my mug to mug today is based on one of the hymns in the table of contents. And today's hymn is A Little Town of Bethlehem. And the stanza that I'm centering around is how silently the wondrous gift is given. And I call this the loudest quiet. My family loves America's Got Talent. You never know what's coming out on that stage next. And America's Got Talent has the golden buzzer. It's a feature where if any of the judges think that a group or a person is talented enough to just go to the final round without having to compete any longer, they press the golden buzzer. And once that buzzer is pressed, there's confetti, there's music, balloons, tears, and much, much celebration. In sharp contrast, we have the little town of Bethlehem on that first Christmas. Something happened then that had never happened before. God put on human form, parted the curtains of time, and stepped into human history. But there were no parades, there was no cameras, there was no confetti, no music, no celebration. At least not in Bethlehem. In fact, it was the opposite. There was no recognition and there was no room. The Bible really doesn't tell us what it was like for Joseph to take Mary and register her with the census, but I picture lots of people, long lines, dust blowing in the hot breeze, little kids running around pulling at their mom's skirts, going, "Mama, are we done yet?" And then when Mary and Joseph finally get to the front of the line, they say, the board census workers go, "Okay, 2 adults, 1 child, pretty soon, huh?" And before Mary could even say yes, they yelled, "Next!" And they didn't even know who the child was. That the child whose presence they just marked off on a clipboard was the Messiah. Suddenly, I'm picturing the sloths from the DMV at Zootopia. Are you? I think it's significant that Jesus came in the middle of a busy time. The chaos of the census, so many people. Bethlehem was filled with weary, tired people. Jesus got lost in the crowd, so to speak. He fell through the cracks. It looked like he was insignificant. And then added to that, look at the place where he was born, a stable. While even the best accommodations our world has to offer would have been inadequate for the Son of God, anything would have been better than a messy stable. And then there were the angels, the ones who actually grasped what Jesus gave up to come to earth. And they were so excited that they broke out in concert, a glorious, glorious concert. But they didn't do it in the middle of town. They didn't do it where the religious leaders could see them. They did it on the outskirts of town to a group of shepherds. And well, we know the shepherds were not quite the right crowd to get the word out to the right people about what was going on. So this amazing thing happened. God did this amazing thing, and then he got the marketing of it all wrong. Or did he? I'm not the first one to say it. Jesus pushed against this his entire ministry. The Jews were expecting a more aggressive Messiah, a militant one, someone that would take down the Romans. But Jesus spoke to the weak. He healed the ones that society had forgotten. He ate with sinners. He spoke with women. He poked at the religious leaders. He did not behave right. He was doing it all wrong. Or was he? The greatest irony is that Jesus came to show us what God is like, and the people who were supposed to know him didn't recognize him. The demons that he pulled out of people recognized him, but his own people didn't get it. So what does that tell us as we sit on this side of history? We who had the benefit of seeing how Christianity spread from the ragtag group of disciples that Jesus chose to our lives today, across the world, across the years. At the very least, in the understatement of the year, it tells us that God's way of doing things is not the same as our way of doing things. Can I get an amen on that? And as we look closer, it also tells us that Jesus knew what it was like to be overlooked, to fall through the cracks, to be misunderstood, to not live up to people's expectations. But thankfully, he didn't come to live up to others' expectations. He didn't come to please others. He came to do the Father's will. He came to rescue the very ones who would reject him. The baby in the manger makes it possible for every heart to be at peace with God. Not just the hearts that the world deems possible, not just the golden buzzer people, every heart. He comes to those who acknowledge their need for him. He comes to those who know they are a mess and know they can't fix their mess. And as the realization and hopelessness of that sinks in, he steps in and shows us that he came for our mess. And that reminds me of the words in O Little Town of Bethlehem. No ear may hear his coming, but in this world of sin, where meek souls will receive him still, the dear Christ enters in. If you enjoyed those words today, if they encouraged you, I know you'll enjoy the devotions of In Unexpected Ways, Christmas in Everyday Life. It's available on Amazon. Y'all have a great week, and I will see you next time on Mug to Mug.